Hey, thanks for watching the Fanboy Cantina. In this video, we're talking about the newly announced HasLab offering, the Marvel Legends Sentinel. But before we get started, please take a moment to subscribe to the Fanboy Cantina. We cover all kinds of things about Star Wars and Lego and toys. Subscribe now, join the Fanboy Cantina. We'd love to have you. On July 10th of 2020, Hasbro Pulse did its latest live stream, featuring Ryan and Dwight from Hasbro Pulse along with Jesse Falcon from Marvel. You had kind of an inkling of where this might go from the beginning of the live stream, where they covered the various versions of the Sentinel action figure, whether it was offered at first by Toy Biz or later from Hasbro. All of that led up to this spectacular video. I've sped it up here. You can watch the whole thing on Hasbro Pulse via Facebook. But it led up to the reveal of this over 26-inch tall, 72 points of articulation, Marvel Legends X-Men's Sentinel action figure. It has light-up features, it looks absolutely fantastic, and it is the latest HasLab offering from Hasbro. HasLab is kind of like the Kickstarter approach for Hasbro, a way to produce these very large, collector-oriented pieces like the Katana, the Jabba sail barge. That was their first offering, followed by the Transformers Unicron action figure. But the HasLab approach has not been without its missteps. This Cookie Monster HasLab offering didn't make its minimum, so accordingly it was never produced. So it could be a bit of a question mark of whether the Sentinel would make its minimum. But let's get back to the live stream. So in this shot you can see the comparison of one of the Toy Biz action figures of the Sentinel compared to a model. This is not the finished product, but a current model of it. And it was interesting how they described it as both a diorama as well as an action figure, and that makes sense. You can pose your Marvel Legends figures on top of this thing. For comparison, I think on the right hand side, that's the Amazon exclusive Sentinel that came out a couple years back. That's a little less than 16 inches. This thing is more than 26 inches tall, 26.34. Here we got a shot of the LED lights on the chest and in the eyes. He also mentioned that the chest plate is removable and you could see the inner workings. This action figure is based on the House of X Powers of 10 version of the Sentinel. There will also be Marvel Legends action figures coming up based on that arc in 2021. Here we are on the Hasbro Pulse website, and you can see the price tag of $349.99. That'll mean if you want to have a small army of these things, that'll set you back quite a bit. The action figure also comes with this 18-inch tentacle that you can stick into the hand of the Sentinel and use that to bend around your Marvel Legends action figures. In addition to the Sentinel and that tentacle, you also get the 6-inch Bastion action figure. Hasbro was really smart here. In addition to getting that action figure, you get that alternate head. And so with that alternate head, that can serve as an army builder opportunity should you be buying more than one of these things. In addition, you get 70,000 Marvel Insider points. That's enough to get you a digital copy of Uncanny X-Men number 14. That's the first appearance of the Sentinels. In a different take from previous HasLab releases, there are different tiers. So 6,000 is the minimum to get the figure produced, but if it gets to 7,000, 8,000, or 9,000, there will be additional benefits. Don't know what they are, but there will be presumably additional benefits. I thought this was interesting too. There's a limit of 5 per transaction. You can only buy 5 in a single transaction of this $350 action figure. Maybe that's a little bit of behavioral science talking there, or maybe Hasbro knows exactly what they've got on their hands. There are people out there that are going to buy several of these things to have their Sentinel army, which would look spectacular. It would be very pricey, but yeah, I think this thing is going to sell quite well. And the tell on that is just looking at the numbers. I'm shooting this video about 12 hours after the live stream, after the product went up for sale, and they're already on the path for hitting that 6,000 figure within the first day, which is crazy. You contrast that with the previous offerings with the Katana or the Unicron, and they barely met their minimum, barely met the minimum by the end of that campaign. So post in the comments, what do you think of the X-Men Sentinel action figure here? Is this something that you're going to get for your collection? Are you going to get more than one for your collection? How many of these things is Hasbro going to sell? Personally, I'm astonished at how many of these things they've sold already. $350 is a hefty price tag, but as a product, as an idea, Hasbro has just knocked it out of the park, right? It looks fantastic, and unlike the Katana or the Unicron toys from HasLab, this is the kind of thing that a collector may want more than one of. So it looks great. I think Hasbro will do quite well here. For more information, visit HasbroPulse.com. Hey, thanks for watching the Fanboy Cantina. Please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe, and do write down in the comments what are your thoughts of the Sentinel action figure. This has been the Fanboy Cantina.